You know when old people start their conversations with, back in my day? Usually we start sighing, okay, here we go. But when we start talking about things like virtual console, and how back in our day, that's what we had, there's no sighing. Even those of you who aren't fully familiar with virtual console, the idea sounds nice, right? Instead of having to pay a subscription to access a group of classic games, you can just go to the eShop outright and buy each individual game, and you can keep them forever, Wi-Fi free, subscription free, etc. The Wii, the 3DS and the Wii U, it was all the same. It's just the Wii, you done it on the Wii Shop channel, and then the 3DS and the Wii U, you done it on the eShop. So as you're jamming to that amazing menu music, you go into the classic game section of the eShop or the Wii channel, and then you pick the game that you want. But instead of there being a message that says, oh yeah, by the way, you need an online subscription to be able to access this, no, pay for it, alright cool, later, enjoy. The good days. It's basically a running joke at this point, especially with Nintendo fans. We long to see the time where this comes back. But will it ever come back? It's an interesting question, because as we all know, the Nintendo Switch, the latest Nintendo console, doesn't have the virtual console. It has Nintendo Switch Online, and the expansion pack for that matter. It's not quite the same, let's say that. So we've seen just how simple the virtual console is and how it works. So is the Nintendo Switch Online such a bad replacement? And is there anything about the Nintendo Switch Online service that's better than virtual console? So the reason why a lot of us want the Nintendo Switch Online to be dropped and for virtual console to come back is because virtual console was great in the first place and there was nothing wrong with it. Whereas the Nintendo Switch Online service is basically a half good version of that. I'm not one of those people to go out there and say that it's absolutely trash, because it serves its purpose. You can play classic games on your Nintendo Switch, a console where you can go from home console to portable mode. That's pretty great and still pretty convenient no matter how you look at it. But at the same time, it was done better on virtual console. You see how simple and easy it was to just buy each individual game you want and then that's it? No, now you have to pay for a subscription. Obviously it depends on which pack you get. If you get the basic one, you only get a handful of games, but then if you get the expansion pack, you're able to access more games. Thankfully both of these packs aren't too expensive and they do come with deals, especially the expansion pack, but at the same time, it's still not as good. For me personally, one reason why I don't think it's very good is that Nintendo just made some questionable decisions. For starters, why can we play Mega Drive games on the Nintendo Switch Online? That's really stupid. You know why? Because Mega Drive Classics Collection is already on the Nintendo Switch, far before NSO. So if we already have that, and we already have access to a decent amount of Sega games, why are we then going to also buy this? So in a hypothetical, why would we wait several months for Sonic 2, where we can literally get Mega Drive Classics Collection, put it in our Switch, and oh yeah, the game is already there? Makes absolutely no sense to me. Something else that doesn't make sense is not subscribing and turning on the bell notification if you haven't done so already. You see what I did there? Basically, if you love Nintendo, and Sega for that matter, as we're speaking about that, you will definitely love this channel. We tend to cover those quite a lot here. So make sure that you hit that big red subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that you don't miss a single one of my videos. Thanks. Honestly, that makes no sense. That's like having Sonic Mega Collection Plus and Sonic Origins on the same system. They both serve the same purpose, yes, but one of them is clearly better than the other. So why not just stick to the one instead of wasting your time creating and putting out the other one? You see where I'm going with this? Another thing that I don't like about the Nintendo Switch Online is that the layout and the apps themselves suck. It's just super lazy. All of the new games are at the very top, all the new versions of games are at the top, but there's no organization whatsoever. And even with some of these consoles, I don't understand why different languages are scattered all over the place, and why are different languages separated? Why do we even have access to different languages when the majority of these games don't have much differences in the first place? I just don't understand. This literally just screams, okay, we don't have a lot at the moment, so we're going to have different versions to make it look like we have a lot. Come on now. And on top of that, the box arts don't change that much. So it's not like you're getting away with it. Now, in terms of the games themselves, I mean, you can't really mess these up. I especially like how with the N64 games, they smooth things out. You can actually read the text, it's not fuzzy, and even with the animation, it looks pretty smooth. So at least they're paying attention to things like that, and they're making sure that they're high quality. I would even go as far as to say that it's pretty cool that we have Game Boy and N64 games accessible on the Nintendo Switch. Would be nice to have had GameCube, but I think we're a bit too late in the Switch's lifespan to get that at this point. And also, you have to respect the Nintendo Switch Online to an extent, because one, we're able to still play online games, and two, the Nintendo Switch doesn't have any backwards compatibility from a physical game standpoint. Not that it matters that much anyway, because the Wii U's entire library basically got ported, which is still very sad. But also pretty good because we still get to carry on playing that amazing library of games, but I digress. So I can't categorically say that the Nintendo Switch Online service is absolutely trash, because it still does the job technically, and in terms of running the games, it does a good job. Even in terms of selection, they're doing more than just NES and SNES titles. However, even if you want to talk about selection, Virtual Console had NSO beat on that as well, because we also had Wii games added to Virtual Console, which was nice. They actually took a more recent Nintendo home console at the time and added that to Virtual Console. Wasn't expecting that, and that was my first experience playing Super Mario Galaxy 2. Look at that. Nintendo Switch? Nah, that didn't happen. So do I think that Nintendo will ever bring back Virtual Console? I'm sorry to dampen the mood, and I'm sorry to get all doom and gloom. I don't think so. And I would even go as far as to say that it's partially our fault as to why we won't see it come back. Let's be honest, the Nintendo Switch Online service was a bit of an experiment for Nintendo. It was their first time experimenting with online service and subscriptions. We paid for it. I know that it's a meme across the internet that we all just complained about it, didn't like it, said it was super average, it wasn't as good as Virtual Console, but we still bought it because Nintendo's smart. Even if we don't care about the classic games, we still need it to be able to play online. And if for some reason we don't care about playing online, but we want the classic games, we would still need to get it. And on top of that, if you wanted a specific console's library, like the N64, you're gonna have to dish out extra money for the expansion pack. Something that I myself did for the same reason. Nintendo, you take the mick, honestly. They're very, very smart, but now that their pockets are fat and they're seeing that obviously we've bought it, they're probably going to continue down that path, and I don't see why they wouldn't from a business standpoint. It makes perfect sense. Regardless of quality, they're seeing that their fans bought it. So don't be surprised if they end up doubling down on NSO and completely abandoning and forgetting about Virtual Console. Breaks my heart to say that, however, that is the most realistic scenario, especially seeing how Nintendo has been moving. Nintendo, man. Things used to be so easy. What have you done? Virtual Console was so easy. It was just pay for the games that you want and you keep them forever. But now we have to rent games, and we don't even get the individual games. We literally have to get folders for console libraries just slapped onto our home menus now.